Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and today we will be modding the Microburst. The Microburst is a weapon that really didn't do it for me when it first came out. I was never a big fan, but there are people who indeed enjoy using it very much and are kinda in love with it. I have heard arguments about whether or not it's better than the Thunderbolt, the autocannon, and while I don't even put them in the same league, I think the autocannon is pretty much one of the best heavies you can use in this game. Every single weapon deserves a chance to shine. So what I'm gonna do here is take it from its vanilla form and then mod it and explain to you why I use it the way I use it. For the purposes of this vid, my build does not include anything related to gun usage, but I'm gonna suggest one of my other builds so you can make the best of this beastie. Let's get to it. So the Microburst, a launcher, automatic fire, damage of 750, reload time of 3, maximum of 96, stumble chance of 50%, fire rate of 2.4, magazine capacity of 16, weak point damage 150, handling bonus of 0, no damage fall off. Its star give it fire rate, more fire rate, and then explosion radius, and then on the fourth it takes projectile fired from this weapon, deal 5% of the damage to nearby enemies. That means it has an AoE effect. So that means we can trigger stuff with said AoE effect. Let's start with the internal mag. Here for me things are pretty simple right now. You're either gonna go combat actuator, that's fire rate 25%, plus 4% handling and 3% stability on hit for 5 seconds, stacking up to 5 times, that's 20% handling and 15% stability. But this thing really doesn't kick that much. So launch accelerator is for me fire rate, stumble chance and handling, and I always like a bit of handling on my guns. The stumble chance is great and the fire rate of course is the prime thing that we're looking for. Barrels. Two choices here. I like ratchet, fire rate and handling. That will take our fire rate to 3.3 and handling to 40, making swapping to this thing extremely fast and ADAcing a little bit better. But I am not 100% sure people would want to sacrifice what polygonal brings to the table. It gives you the fire rate and 50% chance on hit at enemies take an additional 10% damage for 5 seconds. That damage can come from any source, not just yourself and your weapon. So by doing this on a weapon that can hold 16 in the mag and deals AoE damage, you're opening a lot of enemies up for damage from your entire team. So since this is a team game and we want to help the team, which in turn will help us, I'm gonna go with polygonal rifling. Armature. Now here things are pretty self-explanatory for me. Since quick charge armature came into the equation, it's a no-brainer, guys. You shoot once and you get 15% fire rate and 30% stability for 5 seconds. Now the reload time will lower a bit, it's 2.4. So if you are fast on your trigger and reload button, you never need to stop having this in an extended fight. The reload speed itself comes from it, so it helps itself reach its full potential. Now we're gonna fire this thingy without any perks. If you compensate a bit with your mouse or your aiming stick, you're gonna be fine. It gets a very nice grouping, and of course since this is a launcher, it's not an automatic rifle, it's not firing that fast that you can't control it. And the suggestion I'm gonna make here is to grab, let's say, a demo or a lancer. I have a demo build related to this approach, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go to my heavy load, and you're gonna grab Lancer Heavy Training. It gives you handling and magazine capacity for heavy weapons 10% and max ammo of 15, but the most important one is Demolisher Heavy Expertise. Increase the radius of heavy weapons by 50% and damage of heavy weapons by 10%. This is an absolute must if you want to build around heavies. Demolisher Heavy Expertise. Everything else is interchangeable, but if you're going to be using a thing like this that we just used, you want both the radius and of course you want the damage. Okay, 10% damage on every single shot from a thing that fires 3.3 ordnance units per second is not to be left out of the equation ever for whatever reason, unless you're going for an ability build that includes 0 weapon perks, and I can understand that because I usually don't use weapon perks. But in case of these explosive thingies, you either use them optimally or you'd better not use them at all, because if they are underperforming because of the modding or the perks, they're pretty much obsolete. You don't want to use them. So this is the Microburst remodding guide. Haven't touched this thing in a while. Hope you like it. Sub, like, and share. Hit the notification bell. I will see you tonight on the stream. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always have a perfection, Marines. Cheers.